remember during the MRP, we talked about the source list part. Okay,
Right.
the source list. So, how we can define the source list? First of all, whether a source list is first, let me find the material code because I don't remember that. This is the material code I have. Okay. Now, if I want to go for a source determination, then first thing is your material master setup. So let's go to MM02, which is material code change mode. Under this here, purchasing view, my plant is NJ01. So here you can see one checkbox available, which is called source list. Okay.
Right.
Now this checkbox, by enabling this checkbox, system would understand that this for this particular material, the source list is mandatory. Means I have to define source for this item. Okay.
Okay.
And if I make it mandatory here, first thing, and typically step is first make it mandatory in Metal Master. Second, define a relationship between supplier and material, that is source is maintenance. And third, go for a procurement.
Right.
Okay. Suppose if you have enabled this here as in a source list, but source list is not maintained. The relationship between supplier and vendor, supplier and metal is not maintained. Okay. And when you go for a purchase order creation, at that time, system will give you error message. It will
Oh,
simply say source is not determined. First thing. Suppose you had defined one source as a, let's say, a vendor A. Material is this one, bearing, and vendor A. Okay. So now you have completed two prerequisite. First, Material Master, you have enabled this checkbox. Second prerequisite was to maintain the source. Okay. And now in that case, suppose if you go for a purchase order creation and instead of vendor A, if you go for vendor B, then system will again stop you by saying that different source. Okay. So let's quickly uh, use this. So I'm enabling this source list and saving this item. So what I did, I made source determination mandatory for my material
material.
code. Now,
Mhm.
for source list defining, we go to ME01. Simply enter your material code and plant, press enter, define validity period. For which validity period I am defining this relationship.
Mhm.
Okay. Because it is quite possible that your source is fixed for a particular period. Okay. Then source. When I say source, it means your vendor. So to get a list of vendor, one common report which we use is called MKVZ. Okay, in that report, you will have a list of vendors for your purchase organization. So our
Okay.
purchase organization is NJ01. Simply enter your purchase organization and execute it. So currently we do have these two vendors, XYZ Enterprise and ABC Venture. Okay, this I have created it because we will be using this vendor in our sourcing process. Okay, so let's say I'm picking XYZ and I'm entering XYZ here. So now see, here system is asking me to enter the purchase organization also. Because purchase organization is a group of people. So it is possible, if you remember initially I gave you example of a your corporate purchase organization and local purchase organization.
Right.
Corporate purchase
Supplies
organization can buy a
SAP.
tire from uh, any supplier. However, the local can buy from Goodyear only.
Right.
So for to control this, that we maintain this. So here, what I did, I simply said for this particular item, during this period, this vendor is fixed. Fixed means
Right.
system you should be procuring from this vendor.
Right.
Okay, till now it is you should be procuring. But
Right.
if I enable this checkbox fixed, then only system would ask me to prepare a vendor, purchase from this particular vendor only. Otherwise, any other vendor won't be allowed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this looks very simple, right?
Right.
But this source list is not only related to simply fixing a source and saying that or proposing that okay you should purchase from this vendor and all that. But this source list has a one big role to play in a automatic purchase order creation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why if you can see here, the agreement number, everything is given here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this automatic purchase, see, when we go for a procurement, what we need, let me save this first. Okay, now this source list is saved. When we go for a procurement, what we need? First thing, we need a fair price from market.
Right.
Second, we need a source. Okay. And for that purpose, we go for RFQ and QCS and all that.
Right.
Suppose if you have a long-term contract for any item, in that
Mm-hmm.
case, that RFQ and your QCS sourcing is not required because in a long-term contract, you have fixed price with
Right.
the X vendor. So in that case, whenever a new purchase acquisition will come, then that purchase liquidation should be converted to order by referring to your contract because price and vendor both are available in contract,
Right.
right? So for that purpose, in SAP there is one process which is called rate contract procurement or annual rate contract. Okay, so for annual rate contract, if you have an annual rate contract in place, then you can also automate the purchase order creation process
Mm.
because this is now you have a price and source. So this purchase order creation is a non-value added activity.
Correct.
So for that purpose, there is one transaction comes, you run that transaction, it will generate your purchase order. Okay. So for that purpose also this source list is used because in this source list we have to define the exact contract number and contract item.
Right.